Taylor Fritz. Taylor Harry Fritz, born the 28th of October 1997, is an American professional tennis player. He has a career-high singles ranking of world number 5 by the Association of Tennis Professionals, ATP, achieved on the 27th of February 2023, and a doubles ranking of world number 104, achieved on the 26th of July 2021. Fritz has won 8 ATP Tour singles titles, including a Masters 1000 title at the 2022 Indian Wells Masters and a three-peat at the Eastbourne International. His best results at the majors are reaching the quarterfinals of the 2022 Wimbledon Championships, the 2023 US Open and the 2024 Australian Open. Fritz reached his first ATP final in only his third career event, the 2016 Memphis Open. Only one other American, John Isner, has reached an ATP final in fewer career events. He won a junior major singles title at the 2015 US Open, and was the runner-up in junior singles at the 2015 French Open. Early life and background. Fritz was born the youngest of three boys to Kathy May, a former top 10 player, and Guy Henry Fritz, who also played professional tennis and was named U.S. Olympic Development Coach of the Year 2016. They divorced when he was 18. Through his mother, Fritz is the great-great-grandson of David May, founder of the May Department Stores Company, which merged with Macy'. Fritz has two older maternal half-brothers, Chris and Kyle. His uncle, Harry Fritz, also played professional tennis and competed in the seventh longest match of all time by number of games. His aunt, Laura Fritz, was a competitive swimmer reaching a top 5 in the world ranking in the 100 freestyle as well as a member of the world record relay team in the 400x4 freestyle. Fritz grew up with his brothers in Rancho Santa Fe in the San Diego metropolitan area. He attended Torrey Pines High School, where he won the SIF singles title in the San Diego section as a freshman. A few months into his sophomore year, he switched to an online high school to play full-time ITF junior events. Junior career. Fritz did not play any ITF events until he was 15, when he competed in a low-level Grade 4 tournament in March 2013 in Claremont near where he grew up. He would not play another event until the 2013 Junior US Open, at which point he began to compete regularly on the ITF circuit shortly before turning 16. Within the next year, he made it to the semi-finals at the 2014 Junior Wimbledon tournament. He then won his first Grade A tournament at the 2014 Osaka Mares Cup. In 2015, Fritz reached at least the quarter-final of all 4 junior Grand Slam tournaments, including the final at the French Open where he lost to Tommy Paul, and the final at the US Open where he defeated Paul. This major success helped him finish the year as the number 1 ranked boys junior tennis player, for which he was named the 2015 ITF Junior World Champion. He was the first American to hold this title since Donald Young in 2005 and Andy Roddick in 2000. Professional career. 2015, ATP debut. Fritz played his first ATP Tour tournament at Nottingham, where he received a wild card and won his first ATP match against Pablo Carreño Busta. In September 2015, Fritz turned pro after winning the Junior US Open. He quickly rose from the 600s into the top 250 of the ATP rankings by becoming the 9th player at age 17 to win multiple Challenger Tour titles, doing so in back-to-back weeks. The others to accomplish that feat include top 20 players Bernard Tomic, Tomas Berdych, Richard Gasquet, and Juan Martín del Potro, as well as number 1 overall players Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic. 2016, Top 100 and ATP Tour final. After he lost in the final of his last tournament of 2015, Fritz reached a final again in his first tournament of 2016, this time winning against top 100 player Dudi Selo at Happy Valley to catapult to a ranking in the 150s. In the following week, he made it through Australian Open qualifying to reach his first main draw of a Grand Slam tournament at the Australian Open. where he would lose in the first round to fellow American Jack Sock in 5 sets. Fritz was awarded a wildcard into his first ATP 250 tournament of 2016 at Memphis and knocked off the second-seeded Steve Johnson, who at number 29 was the highest-ranked player Fritz had ever defeated. With his victory over Richardus Berankis in the semi-final, he became the youngest American to reach an ATP final since Michael Chang in 1988, and also the second fastest American ever to reach an ATP final, doing so in just his third career ATP tournament. John Isner is the only American that was able to reach an ATP final faster. Fritz would lose in the final to three-time defending champion and top 10 player Kei Nishikori. In February, Fritz cracked the top 100 for the first time by reaching the quarterfinals in Acapulco at his first career ATP 500 event. Fritz's grass court season was highlighted by a close 3-set loss to Roger Federer at Stuttgart. He would end up peaking in the rankings at number 53 towards the end of the summer. At the US Open, Fritz drew Jack Sock in the first round of a major for the second time this year, again losing in 5 sets. To cap off the year, Fritz won the ATP Star of Tomorrow for being the youngest player in the top 100, having just turned 19. 2017, first major win. Fritz was able to achieve his first victory over a top 10 ATP player at Indian Wells, defeating 6th seed Marin Cilic in the second round. Fritz struggled through the first half of the year with injury problems and ended up skipping the clay court season to focus on recovering. He returned to form in the summer with quarterfinals at Los Cabos and Winston-Salem. In his 7th Grand Slam appearance, Fritz won his first match at a major tournament by knocking out Marcos Baghdatis at the US Open. 2018, top 50 debut. After finishing 2017 just outside the top 100, Fritz had a good start to the 2018 season, reaching 2 challenger finals in January. He returned to the top 100 of the ATP rankings by reaching the final in New Caledonia, though he lost there to Noah Rubin. Following a loss in qualifying at the Australian Open, he then won his first challenger title in 2 years at the inaugural event in Newport Beach, not too far from his current residence in Palos Verdes. He continued his strong start by making it to the 4th round at Indian Wells, his first round of 16 appearance at a Masters event. Fritz kicked off the clay court season with a semi-finals appearance at the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships in Houston, the best result on clay of his career thus far. In the tournament, he upset Ryan Harrison and Jack Sock before losing to Steve Johnson. This helped him get back to number 66 in the world. At the US Open, Fritz reached his first Grand Slam third round, defeating Misha Zverev and Jason Kubler, before losing to 9th-seeded Dominic Thiem in 4 sets. Earlier in the season, Fritz began working with Paul Annacone, who helped him reach a career-high ranking of world number 47 on November 5, 2018. 2019, top 25, first ATP title. Fritz made the third round at the Australian Open, losing to Roger Federer in 3 sets. Fritz then went on to win the Challenger at Newport Beach, California. He defeated Braden Shanner of Canada in the final, in straight sets. In June, Fritz won his first ATP Tour title at the Eastbourne International by defeating Sam Querrey in straight sets. In the first round of Wimbledon, Fritz defeated Tom Aspadich in straight sets, before losing to Jan-Lennard Struff in 4 sets. At the US Open, Fritz was seeded 26th, his first ever Grand Slam seeding. However, in the first round, he lost to Feliciano Lopez. Fritz represented Team World in the 3rd annual Lava Cup, held in Geneva. In his first singles match, he lost to Stefanos Tsitsipas. Fritz bounced back on the final day of play in defeating Dominic Thiem. At the Swiss indoors, Fritz defeated second-seeded Alexander Zverev in the first round in straight sets. After achieving a career-high ranking of world number 25 on August 5, 2019, Fritz ended the year ranked number 32 in the world. 2020, first ATP 500 final. Fritz began his season at the inaugural 2020 ATP Cup, representing Team USA. He went 1-2 in the singles competition, as Team USA was sent out of the tournament in the round-robin stage. At the Australian Open, Fritz reached the third round, posting a 5-set victory over Kevin Anderson. He was then defeated by eventual finalist Dominic Thiem. Fritz reached his first ATP 500 final in Acapulco, where he lost to Rafael Nadal. However, his runner-up showing propelled him to a new career-high ranking of world number 24 on March 2, 2020. At the US Open, Fritz was seeded 19th. He defeated Dominic Koepfer in 4 sets and then beat Gilles Simon in the second round before losing to Denis Shapovalov in the third round in 5 sets. At the French Open, Fritz was seeded 27th. He defeated Thomas Mushak in 5 sets and Radu Albert in straight sets before losing to Lorenzo Sonego in the third round in straight sets. The match against Sonego had the longest tiebreak in French Open history, with Fritz losing the tiebreak 17-19. 2021, Indian Wells semi-final, American number 1. Fritz started his 2021 season at the first edition of the Murray River Open. Seeded 6th, he made it to the third round, where he lost to Jeremy Chardy. Seeded 27th at the Australian Open, he reached the third round where he was defeated by top seed, 8-time champion, and eventual champion, Novak Djokovic, in 5 sets. Despite coming back from 2 sets to love down. In Doha, Fritz reached the semi-finals beating Lorenzo Sonego, 6th seed David Goffin, and 4th seed Denis Shapovalov. He ended up losing in the semi-finals to Nicolas Basilashvili. Seeded 15th at the Dubai Championships, he got revenge on Basilashvili, defeating him in the second round in 3 sets. He was beaten in the third round by second seed Andrei Rublev. Seeded 22nd at the Miami Open, he reached the fourth round where he lost to 32nd seed Alexander Bublik. Despite this loss, this was his best showing at this Masters 1000 event and only his second fourth round in a Masters 1000 tournament in his career. Fritz dropped again out of the top 30 on May 10, 2021, following first-round losses at Monte Carlo and Madrid. This drop in the rankings also marked the first time no American men players were in the top 30 in the near half-century of computerized tennis rankings. At the 2021 French Open, Fritz was seeded 30th. He defeated João Sousa in the first round in straight sets. In the second round, Fritz suffered a torn meniscus during his 4-set loss to Dominic Koepfer. Following this, Fritz said he hoped to be back in time for the 2021 Wimbledon Championships following surgery. Fritz would end up returning in time to play Wimbledon and proceeded to make the third round, where he lost to Alexander Zverev. At the 2021 BNP Paribas Open he earned his first top 10 win in 2 years by beating world number 7th and 5th seed Matteo Berrettini to reach the second fourth round at a Masters 1000 of the year and only the third in his career. It was his first win against a top 10 opponent in 2021 and the 7th of his career. Fritz then beat 10th seed Jannik Sinner to advance to his first Masters 1000 quarter-final. There, he saved 2 match points to earn his biggest win of the year, beating world number 4th and 3rd seed Alexander Zverev to reach his first Masters 1000 semi-final, where he lost to Nicolas Basilashvili. At the 2021 St. Petersburg Open, Fritz turned 24, and won against countryman Tommy Paul. He would end up making the final, where he lost to Marin Cilic. Fritz made his second Masters 1000 quarter-final at the 2021 Rolex Paris Masters, where he beat Lorenzo Sonego, 5th seed and world number 6 Andrei Rublev for his third top 10 win of the year, and 10th seed and Indian Wells champion Cameron Norrie. He lost to Novak Djokovic in the quarter-finals. With this successful run he reached a new career high ranking in the top 25 at world number 23 and became the number 1 American player in singles on November 8, 2021. Fritz ended the year ranked 23. 2022, Indian Wells title, world number 8. Fritz started his 2022 season by representing the US at the ATP Cup. The US was in Group C alongside Canada, Great Britain, and Germany. He defeated Felix Auger-Aliassime of Canada and Cameron Norrie of Great Britain, but lost to Alexander Zverev of Germany. The US ended 4th in Group C, seeded 20th at the Australian Open. Fritz reached the second week of a Grand Slam for the first time after defeating 15th seed, Roberto Bautista Agut, in the third round in 5 sets. He fell in the fourth round to 4th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas in 5 sets. As a result, he made his debut in the top 20 of the singles rankings on January 31. As the top seed at the first edition of the Dallas Open, Fritz made it to the quarterfinals where he was eliminated by 7th seed and compatriot, Marcos Giron. Seeded 7th in Acapulco, he lost in the second round to qualifier Yoshihito Nishioka. Representing the US in the Davis Cup tie against Colombia, Fritz played one match and beat Alejandro Gonzalez. In the end, the US beat Colombia 4-0 to make up for Colombia defeating them last year. Seeded 20th at the Indian Wells Masters, Fritz became the first American to reach the final at the event since John Isner in 2012 by beating 29th seed, Alex de Minaur, in the fourth round, Miomir Kekmanovic in the quarterfinals, and 7th seed, Andrei Rublev, in the semifinals. He then defeated 4th seed, 3-time champion, and the then 21 Grand Slam champion Rafael Nadal in the final in straight sets, claiming his maiden Masters 1000 title, his second career ATP title overall, and snapping Nadal's 20-match win streak. It was also his first win over a member of the Big Three in 9 career matches. It marked the first time an American man had won the Indian Wells title since Andre Agassi in 2001. Fritz made his top 15 debut with his victory, reaching a career-high ranking of number 13 in the world. Seeded 11th at the Miami Open, Fritz entered the tournament wanting to complete the Sunshine Double. However, he failed to do after losing in the fourth round to Miomir Kekmanovic in 3 sets. Fritz started his clay court season at the U.S. Clay Court Championships in Houston, Texas. Seeded second, he reached the quarterfinals where he lost to 5th seed and 2019 champion, Cristian Garin. Seeded 10th at the Monte Carlo Masters, he lost in the quarterfinals to eventual finalist Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Fritz missed the Madrid Open and Italian Open due to a left foot injury. Seeded 13th at the French Open, he was beaten in the second round by qualifier Bernabe Zapata Marias. Fritz began his grass court season at the Lebanon Open. Seeded third, he suffered a second-round upset at the hands of Dutch wildcard and eventual champion, Tim van Rijthoven. Seeded fourth at the Queen's Club Championships, he was ousted from the tournament in the first round by British wildcard Jack Draper. Seeded third at the Eastbourne International, he beat 6th seed and defending champion, Alex de Minaur, in the semi-finals to reach the final here at this event for the first time since 2019 when he won the title. He defeated compatriot Maxime Cressy in the final to win his third ATP Tour title, and second in Eastbourne. Seeded 11th at Wimbledon, he defeated Alex Molcan and qualifier Jason Kubler in the third and fourth rounds respectively to reach his first major quarterfinal. In the quarterfinals, he pushed world number 4, second seed, and 2-time champion Rafael Nadal to 5 sets, but ended up losing the match in a 5th-set tiebreak. Fritz's American swing began in Washington, where he was the 3rd seed. After beating Alexei Popyrin in straight sets, he retired against Dan Evans in the 3rd round due to the heat, despite having a match point in the 2nd set. At the Canada Masters, he beat Andy Murray and Francis Tiafoe before losing again to Evans in 3 sets. In Cincinnati, Fritz reached the quarterfinals after beating Sebastian Baez, Nick Kyrgios and 6th seed and world number 8 Andrei Rublev. He lost to world number 1 Daniil Medvedev in the quarterfinals. At the US Open he suffered a shocking first-round defeat against first-time qualifier compatriot Brandon Holt. This was also Holt's first career win on the ATP Tour. Fritz withdrew from the Korea Open due to COVID-19, however he reached his second ATP 500 Tour level final in Tokyo where, as the 3rd seed, he beat James Duckworth, Hiroki Moriya, received a walkover from 5th seed Nick Kyrgios and beat 7th seed Denis Shapovalov in the semi-finals. As a result, he entered the top 10 for the first time in his career. He defeated Francis Tiafoe in straight sets in the final, where he became the first American champion since Pete Sampras in 1996. He reached a new career high ranking of world number 8 on October 10, 2022, becoming the first American to crack the top 10 since Jack Sock in 2017. At the Paris Masters, he won against Alejandro Davidovich Fokina in the first round before losing in the second round to French wildcard player Gilles Simon in a three-tight set match that lasted 3 hours and 5 minutes. As a result, he did not qualify for the 2022 ATP Finals but became in line as first alternate. On November 5, with Carlos Alcaraz's withdrawal after an abdominal injury, Fritz qualified for the 2022 ATP Finals, the first American to participate since John Isner in 2018. In the round-robin stage, he defeated top seed and world number 2 Rafael Nadal on his debut. It was his first win over a top 3 player. He then lost to third-seeded Casper Ruud but won against Felix Auger-Aliassime to book his spot in the semi-finals, the first American since Jack Sock in 2017 to reach this level. It was his 45th tour-level win for the season. He lost to Novak Djokovic in straight sets. Fritz finished the year ranked inside the top 10 for the first time in his career, at world number 9. 2023, United Cup champion, 200th win, world number 5. Fritz started the season at the inaugural 2023 United Cup, as the number 1 American male player, where the United States team became champion, defeating Italy in the final. Next, at the Australian Open, he lost in the second round to wildcard Alexei Popyrin. Fritz saved a match point against him in the fourth set to make it 2 sets each, but lost a hard-fought match lasting more than 4 hours. At the 2023 Dallas Open he reached the semi-finals, where he lost to eventual champion Wu Yibing. As a result, he reached a new career high ranking of world number 7, becoming the highest-ranked American since Mardy Fish in 2011. The following week, as the top seed, he reached back-to-back semi-finals at the 2023 Delray Beach Open. Next he defeated Mackenzie McDonald to reach his first ATP final of the season and 10th overall. In the final, he defeated Miomir Kekmanovic for his 5th ATP Tour title. As a result, he moved to world number 5 in the rankings on February 27, 2023. At the Mexican Open he defeated 6th seed Francis Tiafoe to reach his 3rd straight semi-final. Next he lost to 7th seed and compatriot Tommy Paul in an epic match lasting 3.5 hours, setting the record for the longest match in the 30-year history of the Abierto Mexicano Telcel. In Indian Wells and in Miami he reached back-to-back quarterfinals, defeating 30th seed Sebastian Baez, Marton Fucsovics, and 24th seed Denis Shapovalov, 7th seed Holger Rune en route respectively. In Monte Carlo he reached his 3rd consecutive Masters quarterfinal, defeating Stan Wawrinka and Jiří Lehecka. He went one step further, defeating 2-time defending champion and 2nd seed Stefanos Tsitsipas to reach the semi-finals, recording his 200th win. He became the first American in 20 years to reach the semi-finals at this Masters since Vince Spadea. In the semi-finals, Fritz lost in 3 sets to eventual winner Andrei Rublev after winning the first set. Seeded second at the 2023 BMW Open, he again reached the semi-finals with wins over Marton Fucsovics and Dominic Thiem. In Madrid he lost to Xihen Zhang in the 4th round after Zhang saved 3 match points to reach the quarter-finals. In Rome he lost in the 2nd round to qualifier Yannick Hanfmann. He won his 6th title at the 2023 Atlanta Open, defeating Alexander Vukic. At the US Open he reached the quarterfinals for the first time at this major but lost to eventual champion Novak Djokovic. At the 2023 Japan Open Tennis Championships, where he was the defending champion, he lost to world number 215 wildcard Shintaro Mochizuki after being a set-up and serving at 5-2 in the 3rd set for the match. Seeded 5th in Basel, Fritz lost to world number 83 Alexander Shevchenko after having 15 breakpoints opportunities he missed, in a close to 3 hours match with 3 tiebreaks. In Paris he withdrew before the second round due to injury and put an early end of the season, although potentially still filling in as an alternate at the 2023 ATP Finals. 2024, Major Quarterfinal, First ATP Final, 250th win. He reached his first quarter-final at the Australian Open, defeating 7th seed and previous year runner-up Stefanos Tsitsipas in 4 sets. He successfully defended his Delray Beach title with a win over compatriot and close friend Tommy Paul. At the 2024 Miami Open he lost in the second round to qualifier Thiago Seyboth-Wild, having received a bye at the tournament. He had a successful start of the clay season, at the Bavarian International Tennis Championships in Munich, where he reached his first clay court final with a win over Christian Garin and regained the American #1 ranking. At the 2024 Mutua Madrid Open he reached his second clay Masters quarter-final and 10th overall, with wins over Luciano Darderi, 18th seed Sebastian Baez, and 8th seed Hubert Hurkacz, his second top 10 career win on clay. He defeated 21st seed Francisco Cerundolo, for his 258th career win, making him the 6th man born in 1995 or later to reach that milestone. He became the first American man to reach the semi-finals of Madrid since it switched to clay in 2009, and the third after Andre Agassi and Robbie Ginepri. At the next Masters, the 2024 Italian Open, he reached back-to-back quarter-finals, defeating wildcard Fabio Fognini, compatriot and 24th seed Sebastian Corda and 8th seed Grigor Dimitrov, becoming the first American man to reach the quarter-finals or better of all 3 clay court Masters tournaments. It was also the first time multiple American players, with Tommy Paul, reached the quarter-finals in singles in Rome since 2008. At the 2024 French Open he reached the 4th round of a clay major for the first time with a 5-set win over Thanasi Kokkinakis. Playing style. Fritz is an offensive baseliner. Fritz's ground strokes are powerful and penetrating, and can force errors out of his opponents, or outright end points as winners. His most powerful and consistent stroke is his forehand, though he possesses a strong backhand ground stroke as well, that is flatter and lower bouncing. Fritz possesses a dominant serve that can reach 149 miles per hour, 240 kilometers per hour, and solid ground strokes off both wings. One of Fritz's defining strengths is his ability to hit sharp-angle cross-court shots on both the backhand and forehand sides. He also has a good topspin lob. Personal life. Fritz has a son, Jordan, born in 2017, with ex-wife and fellow pro tennis player, Raquel Pedraza. Since June 2020, Fritz has been in a relationship with fashion influencer Morgan Riddle. Television and film. Fritz appears in the tennis docu-series Breakpoint, which premiered on Netflix on January 13, 2023. World Team Tennis. Fritz has played 3 seasons with World Team Tennis, making his debut in 2015 with the San Diego Aviators. He has since played another 2 seasons for the Aviators, in 2018 and 2019. Fritz joined the Philadelphia Freedoms during the 2020 WTT season at the Greenbrier. The Freedoms advanced to the WTT playoffs as the #1 seed, but ultimately fell to the New York Empire in the semi-final. Fritz was named the WTT 2020 Male MVP. Career statistics. Grand Slam Tournament Singles Performance Timeline. Current through the 2024 French Open. Significant Finals. Masters 1000 Finals. Singles 1 title.